Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. You're watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. The expected investments in oil and gas sectors during the next 10 years is worth more than 100 billion US dollars. The Shura Council approves the Solidarity Insurance draft law and forwards it to the State Council. The GCC countries reveal in Muscat that the intra-trade exchange rises to more than $140 billion. And the Governorate of North Bulletin celebrates the Omani Environment Day with various activities. Those are the headlines, and now the news in detail. Strengthening relations between the Sultanate and Djibouti in various fields were at the focus of talks of His Highness Sayyid As'ad bin Tariq Al Said, representative of His Majesty the Sultan, when he received His Excellency Mu'min Ahmed Sheikh Saad, Wali of the capital of Djibouti, who is currently on a visit to the Sultanate. They also viewed good bilateral relations and ways of enhancing and promoting them, as well as discussing matters of common concern. More than 100 billion US dollars is expected to be invested in oil and gas sectors during the next 10 years. That was emphasized by His Excellency Engineer Salim bin Nasser Al-Aufi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Oil and Gas, in a statement to Oman News Agency. He mentioned that new oil explorations and drill works, which were conducted last year, were still under assessment, expressing hope that positive results would emerge at the end of the assessment this year in order to increase production and oil reserves in the Sultanate. He revealed that the Ministry of Oil and Gas had carried out a strategy for domestic value added with the aim to raise up a local contribution in oil and gas sector from 18% to 32% by the year 2020. The strategy included specific programs and policies and expected to also result in creating around 15,000 jobs directly and indirectly, besides training around 40,000 citizens during the same period to meet needs of future jobs in the sector. In another issue, he expected that Khazan gas project signed with BP company would contribute in raising gas production of the Sultanate by 1 billion cubic feet daily and 25,000 barrels of condensates daily. The Shura Council approved the Solidarity Insurance draft law and forwarded it to the State Council. It was presided over by His Excellency Khalid bin Hilal Al-Mauli, Chairman of the Shura Council. More details in the following report by Saif bin Khalfan Al-Kindi.
Solidarity is the main target of the new insurance system proposed by the Shura Council and widely discussed by the Economy and Financial Committee. It's simply defined as a group of people establishing a joint stock company with two financial funds. One fund is suggested for the founders and the other one for the shareholders. The debate was mainly on whether to make it a joint stock or closed company to avoid any financial risk. However, a panel of criteria was intensively discussed to well organize the insurance agencies. The proposed legislative draft has many details and it describes the amount of existing capital and the main capital as well as the ways of funding. Overall, the proposed draft was approved by the Shura members but still has another intensive debate at the State Council. While several issues have been discussed today at the Shura Council, the main debate was the importance of revising insurance legislative articles to make it more flexible and meet the needs of clients. Sayyid Khalfan Al-Kindi for English News, Muscat.
The workshop of Gulf Citizenship Rights and Duties discussed movement and residence of non-GCC citizens and work in domestic sectors, social insurances and practicing economic activities. The workshops, organized by the Secretariat General of the Gulf Cooperation Council countries in cooperation with Civil Service Pension Fund and presided over by His Excellency Nasser bin Khamis Al-Jashmi, Under Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. The discussion sessions highlighted decisions related to customs union in the GCC countries, commerce and industry, in addition to topics in the fields of labor, education, health, media role in spreading awareness, introduced decisions which concern the GCC countries and the Sultan's role in enhancing work at the Gulf market. The workshop reviewed also important economic decisions which serve the GCC countries' common work march, especially authorization of Higher Council on its 29th round of the GCC Common Market to benefit from available opportunities. The Sultanate had achieved a good strides in final approval for Omani citizens in obtaining an exemption from Schengen visa, which is granted by entry to European countries. That was said by His Excellency Said Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, in a special statement to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television. He added that it is facilitating process for travelers in touristic, commercial and educational movements between the Schengen countries and the Sultanate. He also said all countries with diplomatic and cooperational ties with the Sultanate, especially countries which are more visited by Omanis, should facilitate as possible the matters of granting visas. Countries wishing to enter in bilateral deals with the Sultanate are welcome, as the Sultanate is ready and aimed to do so. His Excellency John Wilkes, United Kingdom Ambassador credited to the Sultanate, in a special statement to Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television, stressed that a British commercial delegation will arrive in the Sultanate during the upcoming period to invest in the Duqm zone. He added that there are a number of British companies in the area and they want to encourage other companies and investors to participate in the projects. He also said that the projects in the Duqm zone are considered promising for the country, especially in oil, tourism and logistics fields. The Omani British Association organized Sultanate of Oman Gateway of the World to the East Forum. It was presided over by His Excellency Said Badr bin Hamad bin Hamoud Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It witnessed the participation from a number of experts in various fields from the Sultanate and the United Kingdom. It came to enhance good historical relations between the two countries, facilitate investment and commercial works in the region, as well as to highlight the vital role played by the Sultanate in economic and political fields. It also discussed topics related to development of oil and gas production methods, in addition to increased commercial exchange in Asian region. The forum also focused on exchanging ideas and political role of the Sultanate on the global level and in the Middle East area. The two-day forum was considered significant to enhance contact and develop the spirit of friendship among new generations in the Sultanate and the United Kingdom. Still to come in our news bulletin, Monte Carlo Daulia, the Arabic language radio of France Mediate Monde Group, launches its broadcast in Muscat. Welcome back to the news. His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Harasi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television, welcomed the launch of Monte Carlo Daulia Radio broadcasting from the Sultanate when he received Chief Executive Officer Marie-Christine Saragossa and Head of France Media International Group. His Excellency stressed the importance of continuous cooperation between the two institutions and to activate terms of Memorandum of Understanding, which was signed by the Public Authority with the group in September last year. On her part, Marie-Christine Saragossa mentioned that the transmission of Monte Carlo from the Sultanate would contribute in diversifying matters presented to the radio, and that would be considered a positive addition from the size of the listeners of the international radio and widen the scope of its geographical transmission and she welcomed continuation of cooperation between the two sides. The meeting was followed by a visit to Digital Studio Complex, and the CEO expressed her admiration of modern technologies and development witnessed by the radio and television channels affiliated to the Public Authority for Radio and Television. Monte Carlo d'Olia, the Arabic-speaking Radio France Medias Monde Group, launched its broadcast on 92.2 FM in Muscat. It will celebrate its launch with a special week dedicated to the Sultanate of Oman. For the occasion, the station will broadcast its flagship programs as well as news bulletin and many reports live from the Sultanate. Through this initiative, Monte Carlo d'Olia will reach out to its new Omani listeners and pay tribute to the Sultanate before its audience in the Near and Middle East, providing analysis on the changes and aspirations of Omani society, its culture, economy and social issues. Monte Carlo d'Olia is a French radio station that broadcasts in Arabic from Paris to the Middle East, Mauritania, Djibouti and South Sudan on medium wave and FM. Marie-Christine Saragossa, chairperson and general manager of the France Media Monde Group, spoke about Monte Carlo d'Olia in her statement to the Sultanate of Oman Radio and Television. She stated the following.
Well, it's a very strong relationship because we started in last May. We had this authorization to broadcast France Monte Carlo d'Olia, which is the Arabic channel of France Media Monde, my company, and we started 2 weeks ago, and we have this press conference yesterday because for us it's the biggest operation we ever done for Monte Carlo d'Olia. We decided to come with all our journalists, all our magazines and all the news, you know, and to have a focus on Oman, which is broadcasted in all the world because Monte Carlo d'Olia is broadcasted in Canada, in a lot of countries, you know, all the Arabic countries. So that was a step, and we have this agreement with public radio and television in Oman to exchange journalists, to have formation, to co-produce things together.
The National Defense College held 2 lectures on the process of the Gulf Cooperation Council and the Arab League presented by His Excellency Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al-Zayani, Secretary General of the Council, and His Excellency Ambassador Ahmed bin Hali, Deputy Secretary General of the Arab League. Zayani's lecture titled GCC Development and Progress talked about tasks of the Council and challenges facing it on the internal, regional and international level. He also discussed the Council's strategic approaches and the joint Gulf work mechanism. On the other hand, the Ambassador's lecture titled The Arab League Between Reality and Ambition touched upon ways of handling obstacles facing the League and its current situation. Real estate register transactions contracts amounted to more than 214 million Omani Riyals in December. Real Estate Register Secretariat of the Ministry of Housing mentioned that the collected fees surpassed 3.5 million Omani Riyals. His Excellency Secretary of the Real Estate Register also said that the Governorate of North Bulletin registered the highest percentage compared to the other governorates of the Sultanate, with a total of 1,454 selling deals, followed by the Governorate of Muscat, when the Governorate of South Bulletin. The Governorate of Muscat recorded the highest of mortgages with contracts worth 146 million Omani Riyals. Oman oil price March delivery has reached 43.51 cents per barrel. The price of Oman oil declined $2.14 US. The average price of Oman oil February delivery 2015 has stabilized at $61.1 US per barrel, registering a decrease of $17.23 US per barrel, lower than January delivery 2015. The Wilayah of Sohar in the Governorate of North Bulletin organized the Oman Environment Day celebrations, which falls on the 8th of January each year. The celebration included various activities and witnessed wide participation from school students, governmental and private institutions, employees. The activities focused on the importance of preserving the environment and the voluntary works which contribute in cleaning the environment. The activities which were organized by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs also contained a photographic exhibition and some scientific programs. Introductory seminars, which is organized by Special Economic Zone Authority in Dukhum in a number of the Sultan's governorates, inaugurated from the governorate of Musandam, within its efforts to introduce entrepreneurs to investment opportunities available in the region. The seminar aimed to introduce businessmen to available investment opportunities and procedures to facilitate investment operations. The seminar discussed that the Omani private sector is encouraged to invest on it and attracted big industrial companies to invest in the zone. It was presided over by His Excellency Said Khalifa bin Al-Mardas Al-Busairi, Governor of Musandam. Citizens of Al-Haram village in the Wilayat of Barka in the Governorate of South Al-Batina participated in the Royal Oman Police, its celebrations of Police Annual Day, which falls on the 5th of January each year. The citizens expressed their thanks and appreciation for the efforts and services exerted by Royal Oman Police in providing security to all people of the society. And now for the general weather forecast. Relatively cold at night and generally clear skies will prevail over the Sultanate, with low clouds late at night and early morning in the governorates of Abu Raimi, Al-Zahira, South Sharqiya and Wusta, and chances of dust in desert and open areas. Winds will be northwesterly light to moderate, occasionally gusty winds. Rest of the Sultanate will be north to northeasterly light to right along the southeastern coast. Seas will be moderate to rough along the coast of the governorate of Musandam and the Sea of Oman, with a maximum wave height of 3 meters, and along the rest of the coast will be moderate with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultan of Oman Television. Before we enter tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The expected investments in oil and gas sectors during the next 10 years is worth more than $100 billion. The Shura Council approves the Solidarity Insurance draft law and forwarded it to the State Council. The GCC countries revealed in Muscat that the intra-trade exchange rises to more than $140 billion. And the Governorate of North Batina celebrates the Oman Environment Day with various activities. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here in the newsroom and the studios, thanks for your company. Good night.